She was called everyone's therapist. She was called the real OG housewife. And for millions of Bravo fans, she was the woman who sat across from Bethenny Frankel in one of the most talked about scenes in Real Housewives history and told her, with love, exactly what she needed to hear. This week, that woman is gone. Gloria Kamen, the mother of Real Housewives of New York City alum Jill Zarin, has died at the age of 91. And the tribute her daughter posted afterward is breaking hearts across the internet. In this video, we're going to walk through exactly what happened, what Jill said in her emotional goodbye, who Gloria really was to this family and to this show, and why so many people, including Jill's former co-stars, are stopping to pay respect to a woman most of them only knew for a few unforgettable seasons of television. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why so many people are calling Gloria Kamen the real heart of the Real Housewives franchise. Let's get into it. So let's start with how we found out. On Tuesday, August 11th, Jill Zarin, now 62 years old, posted on Instagram to share that her mother had passed away that same morning at the age of 91. She didn't post a short caption. She didn't post a simple rest in peace. She wrote a full, heartfelt tribute, paired with photos spanning her mother's entire life. In her post, Jill described her mom as her best friend, her mentor, and the most important person in her life. She talked about a 68-year marriage between her mom and dad, and she called her mother a truth teller, someone who was devoted to her beliefs and unafraid to speak honestly, even when honesty wasn't easy to hear. That phrase, relentless truth teller, is going to come up a lot in this video. Because if you watched Jill's season on Real Housewives of New York, you already know exactly what that means. Jill went on to describe her mom as everyone's therapist, everyone's voice of reason. And she pointed back to a book the two of them wrote together. More on that book in a minute, as proof of the wisdom Gloria carried with her. She closed her tribute by calling her mother the real OG housewife, a title that, if you think about it, is actually a pretty perfect way to describe her. Because long before Real Housewife was a franchise, a brand, a reality TV title people fought over, Gloria Kamen was just a real housewife, a real mother, a real woman with real opinions, and she gave them to anyone who needed to hear them, cameras rolling or not. Now, if you're a newer fan of the Housewives franchise, you might be asking, who exactly was Gloria Kamen, and why does her passing matter so much to longtime Bravo fans? Let's rewind. Jill Zarin was one of the original cast members of the Real Housewives of New York City, starring from 2008 to 2011. And during that run, her mother Gloria became something of a fan-favorite recurring character, not a full-time cast member, but someone whose appearances audiences genuinely looked forward to. Why? Because Gloria didn't hold back. She had this blunt, no-nonsense, old-school Jewish mother energy, loving but direct, funny but sharp. And in an era of reality television where so much felt manufactured, Gloria felt real. Her most famous television moment came in Season 2, in a heart-to-heart conversation with Bethenny Frankel. Longtime fans still bring this scene up. It's the kind of moment that made Gloria beloved far beyond just being Jill's mom. She became, in her own right, a piece of Real Housewives history. And it wasn't just a TV persona. In 2010, Jill, her sister Lisa Wexler, and their mother Gloria actually co-wrote a book together called Secrets of a Jewish Mother. The book blended real advice, real family stories, and the kind of parenting wisdom that Gloria had clearly been handing out to her daughters and to anyone else within earshot for decades. Jill has said that book captured exactly why her mother was so unforgettable. It wasn't a celebrity memoir. It was essentially Gloria's voice put into print, the same voice fans heard on television, now available for anyone who wanted a piece of her wisdom for themselves. So when Jill writes that her mother touched the lives of millions, that's not an exaggeration for a eulogy. Between the show, the book, and decades of just being Gloria, she really did reach far beyond her own family. Gloria's passing, while heartbreaking, wasn't entirely without warning signs. Jill has been open with fans over the past few years about her mother's declining health. Back in November 2022, she revealed that Gloria had been hospitalized in Florida over Thanksgiving after a medical scare. Jill even shared footage from the hospital at the time, showing the two of them spending the holiday together despite the circumstances. Then again, in late 2023, Jill spoke about her mother dealing with anxiety, weakness, and a viral illness that required round-the-clock care. Over the following years, Gloria spent a lot of time recovering, dealing with the natural challenges of aging, and going through several surgeries. So while the news of her passing is devastating, it's also clear that Jill had been quietly caring for and preparing for the loss of her mother for a while now, which, if anything, makes the tribute she posted even more powerful. This wasn't written in shock. This was written by a daughter who had spent years loving her mother through hard health battles right up until the very end. Now, let's talk about the reaction, because it's been significant. Jill's boyfriend, Gary, posted his own tribute honoring Gloria, writing about how her life revolved around her husband and her daughters, and describing her as someone who spent much of her life helping others without ever expecting anything back. Several of Jill's former Real Housewives of New York co-stars also stepped in to pay their respects in the comments, including Kelly Bensimon, Aviva Drescher, and Alexis Bell. And fans, thousands of them, flooded the post with condolences, many specifically calling out that unforgettable Season 2 moment with Bethenny, or thanking Gloria for the advice in her book that helped shape their own lives as mothers and daughters. One fan wrote in the comments that Gloria left behind a glorious legacy and sent prayers to Jill's father, Saul, who was married to Gloria for those 68 years Jill mentioned in her post. Another fan called her simply a wonderful, wise person. It's worth noting, as of the time many outlets reported on this story, some of Jill's most high-profile former co-stars hadn't yet publicly commented, but given how quickly tributes were already rolling in within the first 24 hours. That's very likely to change as more people learn the news. What's clear is this: Gloria Kamen wasn't just a supporting character in someone else's reality show. She built her own relationship with an audience that, in some cases, watched her on television for years before ever meeting Jill Zarin in person or reading a single page of that book. Let's end where Jill herself ended her tribute, because it's the part that's hit fans the hardest. In the closing lines of her post, Jill wrote that her mother would be deeply missed and never, ever forgotten. She thanked her mom for everything she'd done for her and for giving her the most beautiful family a person could ask for. She thanked her for choosing the best possible father for her. And she added, with the kind of honesty that clearly ran in the family, that her mother had always been right about everything, even when it took Jill a while to realize it. If you've ever lost a parent, or if you have one who's getting older, that line probably hits somewhere deep. Because how many of us can say the exact same thing? That the woman who raised us was usually right, even when we didn't want to admit it at the time? Gloria Kamen lived 91 years. She spent 68 of them married to the same man. She raised daughters who clearly adored her. She wrote a book that helped strangers become better parents, and she became, almost by accident, one of the most beloved figures in reality television history. Not because she was chasing fame, but because she was simply, unapologetically herself. So that's the story of Gloria Kamen, beloved mother, the real OG housewife, and the woman behind one of Real Housewives' most iconic and heartfelt moments. Our thoughts go out to Jill Zarin, her sister Lisa, her father Saul, and the entire family during this incredibly difficult time. If this video meant something to you, do me a favor, hit that like button and drop a comment below sharing your favorite Gloria Kamen moment from the show, or just leave your condolences for the family. I read every single comment, and I know Jill and her family would appreciate seeing the love from this community. And if you want to stay updated on everything happening in the Bravo and Real Housewives world, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because we cover these stories the moment they break. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.